Alright, so here we have the roller coaster from the Corny Coaster Roller Coaster Association. So we see here at the very top, this is where the marble has the most potential energy. And as it continues down the track, some of that potential energy converts into kinetic energy. We know that potential energy equals mass times gravity times height. So naturally, since the marble maintains its same mass and the gravity is consistent throughout the roller coaster, the only thing that changes is height. So as we increase the height, the higher the potential energy is. We found that the maximum kinetic energy and the maximum potential energy were the same. Due to the laws of the conservation of energy, we know that the potential energy we have here at the top of the ramp, which happens to be 0.098 joules, is the most amount of either potential and kinetic energy that we can have throughout our whole roller coaster. As the marble descends, the potential energy decreases because the height decreases. However, the kinetic energy increases because we know that kinetic energy equals 1/2 mass times velocity squared. So as the velocity increases, so does the kinetic energy of the marble. Alright, so here it goes through a loop-de-loop. In this loop, we know that it is going up. We also know that when things have to go up, they have to fight against gravity. And we also know that the higher an object is, the more potential energy it has. So here in this loop, we know that its velocity, the marble's velocity decreases, and so does its kinetic energy. However, the potential energy increases, and it reaches its peak of potential energy right about here at the very top of the loop. But then it starts increasing in kinetic energy as it continues down here. Alright, the same thing happens with the loop here because the marble goes around this loop. Right here it's increasing kinetic energy, and here it decreases kinetic energy while increasing potential energy as it goes up here because again it becomes higher, and we know the potential energy depends on how high something is in addition to the mass and the gravity. So here it reaches another peak in potential energy before continuing down this course where it increases in kinetic energy. Here it's going down and it's continually decreasing in height and potential energy, when here it's increasing more in kinetic energy because we know it's going down a steep incline and its velocity is increasing. Here it's staying at about the same height, so the kinetic energy here is is maintained. However, here it starts going down again and the kinetic energy increases. And all this time, the potential energy that we found at the top is converting to the kinetic energy that it's going throughout the track. Here we have a bit of a hill. So as it goes up the hill, its height increases and so does its potential energy. And its velocity decreases and so does its kinetic energy. And finally down here at the very bottom of the roller coaster, its kinetic energy is increasing while its potential is decreasing, and here it's about the same. And here the kinetic energy increases and the potential energy decreases, and this is at the end of the roller coaster. Alright, we know that the potential energy that we found here at the top is the same thing as the kinetic energy, so that we find here at at its very fastest point, at the very bottom. And the potential energy, because of the laws of conservation of energy, which means we can never create or destroy energy. It's the only thing that is happening to the energy that's found at the top is it's being transverted into kinetic energy as it goes through the track. And we know that the potential energy that the marble has plus the kinetic energy that it has is always equal to 0.098 joules because that is the amount of potential energy we found at the top of the roller coaster. So just finally, the total amount of energy that can be contained in this this track of pipe is 0.098 joules. That can either be in potential, in purely kinetic, or in a combination of both. Thank you.